Alright, and welcome to the next video in my latest series on creating and working in the horror genre. This is a follow-up to my Horror 101 series. This is more of an application of the stuff I talked about in that series on designing a horror game or conceptualizing a horror game. Now this one is about getting personal. And if you've watched my Horror 101 video about getting personal, it's all about actually putting what scares you into what you're working on. Because if you aren't willing to explore what scares you in horror, then you really have no business working in the horror genre. Because if you aren't really scared of anything, then all you can ever really work off of is what you think will scare people. And that's where you get into all these really cliched, overdone games and movies and stuff. So some of the reasons why I'm doing it like this is I like watching shows like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. I don't really like that one dude that's on it, the main guy. He's kind of an asshole to me, and everything's a demon. But let's see. So yeah, that stuff it kind of creeps me out. And my favorite horror movies have always been ghost movies. Poltergeist, The Shining, some of the newer ones. Session 9 I liked. Below I thought it was really good. 13 Ghosts I've always enjoyed. The Changeling is a good one. A lot of these movies that, there's either something ghostly going on or it's actually a haunted hospital, a haunted house or something. So that's why I went with this Haunted Mansion thing. Rose Red, Kingdom Hospital, miniseries that have been on Sci-Fi that I really like. The Woman in Black was pretty good. So a haunted mansion that's why I went with a haunted mansion. And a team of paranormal investigators, again drawing on my fondness for like the Ghost Hunters type of stuff, and like the movie or the miniseries Rose Red, and some elements from like Poltergeist even. So again, this is personal stuff to what I like in horror and what actually spooks me out. Some things in horror movies that actually do freak me out. Um, like the Japanese female ghosts, like The Ring and The Grudge. Those movies freak me out. I will not watch them. I watched both of them once, and that's more than enough for me. They freak me the fuck out. So, designing some of the ghosts, that's some of the area that I would explore for this game. I'd want to explore. There's other, Western style ghosts, but some of them, at least a few of the ghosts, I would definitely go with that kind of the Japanese, different elements of the Japanese ghosts, because they're freaky to me. Some of the weird movements that they like to use for the Japanese ghosts, the overall black hair hanging down look, that sort of thing. Uh, and just elements of it, like some of them, it's really more like there's almost a virus aspect to some of the Japanese ghost things. Especially the Grudge. I mean, it really is like a supernatural virus. Once you've come into contact with it, you're dead. It's eventually is going to get you. So that's also something that's kind of creepy about it. And The Ring is the same way. It kind of gives you this feeling when you get into the movies, you kind of feel like by watching it, you've been contaminated by it somehow. So, take some elements of that and try and put it into the game. Like playing this game is contaminating you. So that's something that I would want to work with. The kitchen scene in Poltergeist with the so fucked up food things and things in mirrors, always good to mess with people. The woman ghost in The Shining I don't know how I'd work with that on a game like this. I mean, you can't really. Well, you could, but then you'd get a much harder rating. And, there's elements you could explore to that. Something that starts off beautiful and then gets really ugly and freaky. You could do that. There's elements there that could be exploited. Things that just personally freak me out: aging, just getting older, and the whole thing of aging, being crippled, and mental infirmity. Those are my primary scares or fears. Getting older, losing my mind, and being crippled. Those are things that scare me. Things that could happen that scare me. So those are things that I'm not sure how they'd be worked into the game necessarily, but they could be. Maybe not the aging. Well, you could combine that with somebody looking like they've just suddenly aged 100 years in the mirror or something is a freak out. That could be good. Uh, you know, there's personal fears that can be explored and go into a game. And when you want to make a horror game, you should explore what scares you and use that in the game. Because if you make a game and it doesn't affect you at all, nothing about it freaks you out at all, then it probably isn't a very good horror game. So, it's just something to keep in mind. I think that really wraps that video up. It was a pretty short topic, really. Thank you for watching. Please give me that upvote. It's always appreciated. The thumbs up. Share this on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Pinterest, email your friends, family, colleagues, websites, blogs, forums, any place where you think somebody might like this video, show it to them. Okay, subscribe if you haven't already so you know when I upload and or uh, have scheduled videos to go live. You can see when I have videos go live. Okay, and leave your questions, comments, and ideas for other videos in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.